Action now. Why train school bus drivers? Aggregatize. And because you've got that mandate, all your drivers, I love your drivers, I love them. I can't wait to talk to them. I'm so excited. I now make a point that the most wonderful people I've ever met in my life. I'm going to tell you that. And that goes down to enthusiasm. I have been training, and when I drove in here from the airport when I got a cab, I was saying I was excited to be back in Reno, but I hadn't been here in 20 years. I was on the faculty of the National Judicial College, which is at the University of Nevada, Reno. And I used to come out here 6 times a year and train judges. And boy, this city is not the same as it was 20 years ago. But I have been training judges, law enforcement officers, prosecuting attorneys, mental health workers, domestic violence caseworkers, and attempting teachers for all these years. Do you realize your profession is the only one that is saying, please give us this information. Please let me get it down to all my drivers. Do you realize there's not one teachers group, even though I've been in all of these school districts, add them up, I mean, my goodness gracious. This year alone, all of Georgia, all of New York, we got 500 a year. I'm going to do all of Oregon later. Though Georgia's rebooked me for next June. I've done the entire state of Florida. Not one teachers group has asked me to teach them. Not one. That to me is malfeasance. So you are my heroes. Now, does it work? I gave you the example for Collier County. 34 registered sex offenders at bus stops in 3 semesters. And I love it. I came here and I was talking to someone that I was just met in New York, and he said after the session that this person ran up to him and said, John, it was so exciting because one of the things I teach is what drivers to look for. He said, I had a driver that actually caught a guy that had been following him in the bus. So this works. Now the real serious problem is that there's only one Duane Dobbert, and you're not going to believe this, but nobody else in the United States is doing this. No one. And all the counties, all the districts are saying, will you come and train my drivers? Well, I can't. I'm a full-time university professor. And so I can't go and do counties. I can do state organizations, and when groups of counties get together, if I could get it on my calendar, I will. I had a foundation grant because of the significance of the demand for this to build a TV production. And I know this sounds like a marketing ploy, but I'm so passionate about it. We need to get this down to the drivers. If we don't get this down to the drivers, then it's absurd. If only your supervisors know about this, your drivers won't know about this. So I had a foundation who sponsored this. And this is a 2-hour DVD, which mirrors the exact program you're going to see from 3 to 5 today. And a workbook. That you take this, and I admit that the freight costs $195. But you can use it every in-service training and with the refresher courses, every new hire. And the workbook you can duplicate. You know, I got authorization from my publisher to allow you to duplicate it. You give this, first of all, to your school psychologists or your school social workers, if they are psychiatric social workers, and say, look at this, look at the workbook, and then be prepared to answer the questions. Because it's the questions which are significant, and the clinicians know the questions. They know the answers to the questions. It forces them to do so. Now, I hope I get this right. Bill might have to help me with it. In the consultant's booth, in the Nevada Center, in the exposition, which starts here in 11 minutes, which means I'm 4 minutes overdue. There's a stack, there's a pile of order bodies. My wife, who's normally with me, is, thank God, she's my partner in everything that's important in life, and I truly miss her today because the iron wouldn't work and I was terrified. I was going to look like I slept in my clothes. And it's not that I'm a chauvinist, I'm just inept as heck. I really am because of iron. We need to get this down to the driver level. It's incredible. And you need to tell the press you're doing this. You will never have better relationship with the press other than when you do this proactive training of your drivers. The press have now become, or Collier County schools and all the other districts that I've trained, they have become the darlings of the press. They don't get any negative press. And if there's a negative issue, they pick up the phone and they talk to the pupil transportation director rather than just putting somebody on the scene. The press get out there and they ride in buses and they talk with the operators, and the operators say, "It's so cool, I can do this, and I watch my kids, and I'm saving children's lives." Ladies and gentlemen, you are the only group, the only professional group in the United States that has the courage, the enthusiasm to take on this activity.